Big thanks to Cardmarket for sponsoring today's video. Alright, hello everyone and welcome to a brand new video. In today's video, we are going to be doing a post-ban tier list. So it's going to be an OP12 tier list, but of course taking bans into consideration. Huge ban announcement last week, and it's going to shake up the meta a lot, and we've already kind of seen what decks are gonna end up on top and what decks are gonna falter because of these bans. So we're going to do an entire tier list today, go through every single leader in the game. Of course, we're only going to talk about the relevant ones. Don't you worry, we don't want the fucking 5-hour video here. Let's jump straight into it. All right, so this here is the tier list. We are gonna start. These seem like they were in order at first, but they're clearly not. They have like some OP01 down here for some reason. But we're just gonna go from the top left down all the way down to the bottom right. Starting with King, that's a D tier. Whitebeard is like a C tier. It's like it's there, but it's not really there. D tier, D tier, D tier, C tier, D tier, D tier. This could be an argument for B here. I think Smoker's very interesting, right? As it's just always the worst of the two black leaders, right? Like it has like some things going for it, but majority of things are just more like they are just better in Lucci, right? But I think if I'm putting Lucci in A, I'm putting this in B, I would say. So we'll see when we get there. This is probably also C. D. Oh, sorry, Arlong is C. This is banned. This is D. Dude, these leaders suck ass. I think Katakuri has a decent chance into this meta. Katakuri is just a generally powerful deck, right? And always has been, but I think its post-ban matchups are better than pre-ban matchups. Vivi's D, Grape is D, Fujitora is D, Rebecca's D, Queen D, Lakers D. I'll put this in C. There's a major discussion on a Discord that I'm in right now. Unless it's actually my Discord, it could be. There's a list that topped with this deck in OP13, and it wasn't the other Sabo, but we're arguing if like, oh, is it the wrong Sabo? Was it OP13 Sabo or was it this one? Because it has this card, but it's like, it's probably just a misclick, right? It's most likely OP13 Sabo, but I'd put this here in C. It's like, it's there. It has the cards, it just doesn't have the leader effect, right? Bello Betty is probably also, unfortunately, in C. Every time I ever make a tier list, I've been putting Bello Betty in S because Bello Betty is my GOAT and always has been. Unfortunately, this is the first set in a long while where I think Bello Betty is not going to be a good pick. Unfortunately, she's going to be C tier in this one. Nothing in particular orders in this right now. I might do some final adjustments later on in the video, but for now, things are just going to be not sorted. Rosie is probably C tier as well. Sakazuki, all right, this is my hot take. I think Sakazuki is like a C tier deck. I don't think Sakazuki has what it takes. We're talking about an OP05 leader. Yes, we do have other O5 leaders that can compete in this meta. I don't think Sakazuki is one of them. He's lost way too many cards throughout the years, with like Gecko Moria being gone, Ice Age being gone, Great Eruption being gone. He just doesn't have access to enough cards to be able to keep up with today's meta. The leader effects have gone through the roof in power creep. I just don't think he's good enough to stick around in this set, unfortunately. So all the Saka hopers, all the Saka copers, I'm sorry, I don't think Sakazuki is going to be around. He might like top in some tournaments just because he will be overrepresented because everybody's hype on that shit, but it's not a good deck. Do not play Sakazuki, in my opinion. Purple Luffy, on the other hand, OP05 leader that really is still in this meta here. Not being hit with Gum Gum Giant in the ban list means that Purple Luffys in general are going to be really powerful, especially with the best Purple Luffy deck, right? Blue Purple Luffy being hit by the ban. It allows these other Purple Luffys to kind of shine through and actually be really powerful decks. So it's going to be an A tier for me. I think this deck is really strong post-meta. We'll see if it's able to put up any results, but I would say the deck in itself is really powerful. Enel is probably going to go in that same tier. Enel, I think, has a decent matchup spread. People are building it very differently, right? They're building a very hard starve list, which I think could be fine. I don't know if it's necessarily better than like other lists that's been run before, but it is a list, and I think NL in general just is in a pretty good place right now. I think it has some good matchups and could definitely stick around, and definitely an A tier for me. Uta is probably a D, could be a C, but it's a D. Hody D. Prona D, unfortunately. I want to put it in C so bad, but I don't think it's D. Yamato C, though. Reiju C. Moria C? Nah, Moria D. Dragon C. Bonnie. Okay, Bonnie is... Bonnie's like on the brink of S tier, I think. I think a lot of people are going to be on Bonnie now. And I think Bonnie's going to be really powerful. It has a really good matchup spread, and it's just a generically strong deck, right? And a lot of people are talking about Bonnie like it's going to be the best deck in format. I do not believe it's going to be the best deck in format. I believe it's going to be a really powerful deck, and I believe it's going to be putting up results left and right. I do not believe it's going to be the objectively best deck in format. No, it's going to be an A tier for me, on the absolute brink of S tier here. Just missing that little bit something to make it into S there at the moment. But really, really, really strong deck, Bonnie, for sure. Really good matchup spread, and just a generically strong leader ability. Boa is probably like C. Foxy D. Lucci, yeah, like I said, like if Smoker goes in B here, I think Lucci goes in A. I think Lucci... The thing is, if Bonnie goes on the rise, right, then Lucci becomes really powerful. If Bonnie doesn't go on the rise, then Lucci is not going to be played. Lucci struggles into a lot of the meta decks, but absolutely demolishes Bonnie. So if Bonnie ends up being the most prevalent deck in this format, Lucci is going to be super strong and a really good meta pick. But we will have to wait to see just kind of how the meta shapes up, and if Bonnie does end up seeing so much play as people might think she is, then Lucci will be a great pick. For now, it's going to be bottom of A tier, I think, because it's like above Smoker, but it's like maybe Smoker should be down here, to be honest. Maybe both of the... It's looking a bit weird now. I swear we're going to fill this category up. But it's going to be an A for now. I think it's a really good deck, really powerful deck. Just has a really awkward meta state right now to fit in. But if Bonnie can shine, then Lucci can shine. Vegapunk, that's probably another B tier deck. I think Vegapunk is really good and pretty powerful. But it just has a weird meta to fit into right now. I don't know if it's going to be competing. I'm not sure what Vegapunk's weaknesses are, but I would assume it's something like Zoro or Rayleigh, because I don't think it's going to be super competitive. But it has a very strong core, and OP13 obviously becomes even stronger. So if you're on Vegapunk for OP12, just hold out a little bit longer, and you're gonna get a bunch of support. Chopper is like low-key not even C, but we'll put it in C. Marco, probably another B tier deck here. It's a really strong deck, but I think it's gonna falter, go a little bit short, just against some of these meta decks this season here. So it's probably going to be a B tier for me. Carrot, probably the same. Sits right around B. Super powerful deck. I mean, it has the same arguments that Bonnie has, right? Like, green is just generically good right now. But Carrot obviously works a little bit different from Bonnie. But being a really strong deck still, it's going to be a B tier deck, I think. I don't think I'll ever put it in A. Not the way this list is looking right now. Maybe towards the end, if I put some more decks into C, then maybe Carrot can go into A. But yeah, Carrot is probably like here. Probably something like this. Probably. Whatever. King is going to be D. Pudding's probably going to be C. Calgara is probably like, ooh, I think Calgara is like right on the brink of C and B. I think Calgara is really, really strong in this set. However, do I believe that it is as strong as these decks up here? That's hard to say. You know what? It's probably something like this. Actually, it probably is. I think it is up there. I think I'm gonna drop these two down. I don't think they're B tier decks. After putting more decks into it, I think I'm starting to realize these are not B tier decks. Um, yeah, no, probably not. Um, Shanks, I think Shanks is another meter deck. I think Shanks is one of those decks that people now believe that because UP is like low key gone, Shanks is gonna be the best deck in format for some fucking reason. And I don't know who these Shanks copers are, but there's actually no way Shanks is that good. I refuse to believe that just because you lost your worst matchup, you're now all of a sudden the best deck in the game. And also, you didn't even lose it. UP is still around. It's just a little bit worse. But no, I don't believe Shanks is going to be the best deck in format or anything. Like some people are saying, it's going to be a solid B here for me, man. I don't know. I don't think it's going to be it. Uh, I just think it's lacking a lot of things still. The Shanks starter deck was super underwhelming. And all the other cards are still just not quite keeping up with power creep over the last year here, I don't think. It's going to be a B tier for me. Lim C, Buggy C. I know a lot of people are going to be very upset about this, but it's just not good. The matchup spread this meta is not good. The only deck you're supposed to be like favored into is Rayleigh, and Rayleigh is so good that he just gets around it with his 1 and 2 costs. Like he doesn't care about promo. So Buggy, unfortunately, in this meta is going to be a C. Black Purple is probably a B. Uh, Black Purple is really good. I think in a really good spot. Um, I think yeah, it just has a lot of potential and a lot of resources at its disposal. It do end up getting the OP12 Robin as well this set. Don't know if you even play that, but that is another another angle that you can play this deck at. And in general, it's just a really strong deck. Just getting to keep Giant obviously puts this deck in a really powerful position, and it's like on the brink here, right? Like I could totally see this crossing into A. It's definitely the strongest deck in B tier right now. So it's like could go into A whenever I feel like it. Robin, unfortunately, really funnily, one of the only giant juicers that is not that good. This deck literally can use giant and it's still just not good. So sad. So sad. Poor Robin, man. Teach. Man, Teach is really close to not making B, I think. I don't think Teach is it this meta. I don't know, man. Maybe I'm wrong. I mean, I don't know Teach that well, but we've just seen Teach not performing, and like the people I know on Teach are like not really on Teach anymore. I don't think Teach is gonna be it in this meta here. Like I said, there is a chance, right, that like Bonnie gains a lot of play, which means Lucci gets a lot of play, which means Blackbeard can again get a lot of play. And I think Blackbeard does decent into Enlil as well, last time I checked. So that is something that is going to be really interesting to see. Well, maybe it does go a little bit higher. Maybe I just don't know enough about Teach. But I'm going to put it in B for now. It's probably going to be like high B, right? But we'll see if he can cross into A as well. Not really sure about Teach. Smoker is actually in that exact situation as well. I think he's gonna be like right around here. Being a really powerful deck, just having access to Holy Jones still, green not getting hit by the ban at all is gonna make green very prevalent this set. And I think Smoker has a lot of resources, especially with the new Perona Searcher and stuff like that. It is a really powerful thing. Utilizing 8 cost Mihawk to its absolute fullest potential is also incredibly powerful. So I think Smoker is a very strong deck in this set, and can definitely compete with a lot of high tier decks. Caesar's D, Sugar's D. Green Yellow Law, unfortunately, I think is like C as well. I don't think Green Yellow Law is going to be able to put up the results that it really wants to in this meta. That might just be me though. Very much like Teach, I don't really have much experience under my belt with these decks. But I think this is probably like a high C, low B kind of deck. You're probably very similar to Shanks here, right? Where it's like I don't see it being as good as people are saying. Usopp's just D. Kid is really good. Kid is probably on the brink of being A here. Nah, let's put Kid in A, dude. This deck is nasty. I went up against this deck in my locals the other week, and I just got absolutely shat on, dude. This deck is really good. And it has a good general meta matchup spread now as well. I don't know if it was because it had like a bad UP matchup or what happened there, but people are saying it's thriving in this OP12 meta, and I can't say anything except I know this deck is strong, and I know that with the right pilot, this deck is super nasty. So Kid probably gonna put up some results here and there. It's gonna be an A tier for me. Kobe's like C. I'm sorry, Kobe. Jinbei's D, dude. So is Hirohoshi. Oh, UP. What do we think of UP? I think like the thing is the ban list actually Loki might have benefited him. Not necessarily the ban list, right? But the fact that UP is gone, or gone, it's not really gone, right? But the fact that UP is nerfed means that Betty's gonna see less play, which means he'll have no natural counter in the actual meta. Which means it can be really powerful with some of these new builds that are coming out. I really don't want to put this in A. But there have been results already put up in post-ban tournaments with UP, so it's definitely a scary deck still. The question is like, I think it's really balanced, and I think that's probably why it's gonna be. It's probably in this spot as well with some of these decks here, where it's just gonna be like high B, low A, and we'll see if we split these up later on. But I'll probably put it in here. I think it's a lot stronger than people recognize, and it's not a deck that should be slept on. Nami probably like, unfortunately, I want to put this in A as well, but it's probably just gonna be high C. Katakuri low C probably. Rayleigh, all right, now we're getting into the meta stuff. And this is one of those decks that I could see being our S tier decks. A lot of people are jumping onto Rayleigh post-ban because it's a cheap deck, it's a good deck, it's an easy deck. Well, it's not easy. I played it myself and I fucking choked like a little bitch. Apparently, I suck with Rayleigh. But like, it's I think it's easy to learn, hard to master kind of deck. But definitely a complex deck. But super powerful, super powerful, very aggressive, and I think it's gonna put up a lot of results, and I think a lot of people are going to be on this deck, and it's a very powerful deck, right? If I haven't said that enough already. So I think this is going to be our S tier deck of the format here. This is going to be what you need to watch out for. It's going to be I guess I'll just put him up here as well. These are going to be the two decks that are going to be running this format. If nothing changes, right, which that totally could, people could realize that like Zoro maybe is not the GOAT that he is, and he only has his good matchups, but he has a lot of bad matchups. And like maybe people realize that Rayleigh is too hard to pilot, and they won't be on it. But like as of right now, these two decks are gonna be the two objective threats of this meta, and things could definitely change as as people figure out the meta and things rotate. Maybe like these, like Enel becomes best deck in format because it has good matchups into those. I don't know. And then that changes everything. But I think as of right now, these are the two decks to watch out for. And the reason is just they have very powerful leader skills and good support to boot. They're just really complete decks, even after coming out in OP12. So really interesting meta we got set up here, but these two are definitely going to be some of the strongest decks in the set, and probably going to win majority of the regionals this season. Kuzan, okay, finally. Kuzan is what I'm playing this season. I think post-ban Kuzan is probably one of the strongest decks in the game. I think it has favored matchups into almost everything here. And the things that it doesn't have favorite matchup is it's like a 45. Like it has really good matchup spreads, and it's such a consistent deck that you could bring this to any sort of tournament and you will always see some sort of results as long as you're relatively skilled with the deck and are able to pilot it on a high level. I want to almost put it here. Like I really almost want to put it here. That might be my bias speaking, but there's a reason I'm playing this deck and not some of the other decks. And it's because I truly believe that this deck is going to be one of the best decks in the formats. I picked this up like last week, played a couple games, ended up winning all of them. So I was like, oh, fuck, I'll bring this to a fucking Chinois Cup. And the only deck I lost against was one Rayleigh. I ended up getting third place, and I lost against the Rayleigh because he high rolled into with his Drum Kingdom package, which was forecast Luffy into chess into Kuromarimo, or whatever his fucking name is. Wiped my board and established like more offensive power than you can with a fucking forecast Ivankov or a fucking forecast Jinbei. I don't know what happened there, but he just high rolled the shit out of me. Like, all right, so nobody wins that matchup anyways. But everything else I was so comfortable into. Like, it was just it's such a fucking clean deck, dude. I'm gonna put it in here, not to trigger people, but in my opinion, it's definitely competing with these two for best deck in format. But yeah, people would fucking slay me if I put Tucson in S. Sanji, like that's a. I'm sorry, I think that's like a low B. Like here probably. Rosie's a D, unfortunately. Koala's low C, man. I hate to see it. Koala get it. Like all these Brevos in C, it's rough, man. Odin D. Green purple. All right, finally something. Green purple is gonna be up here as well. This is like I think I'm gonna just put it in S. On a real one. Yeah, I think green purple is just S. Green purple, it has been a really powerful deck ever since it came out in EBO 2, and it not being hit whatsoever with the ban list. Not Hody getting hit, not actually I don't even think you run Hody, but not Giant getting hit, not Sanji Pudding getting hit, not Stage getting hit. Nothing this deck uses got hit whatsoever. So you can now freely just go rampant with this deck. It also loses one of its worst matchups in Bello Betty going out of the meta. So I think it has a really, really good matchup spread into some of these better decks here. I'm not 100% sure on its matchup spread into these. I guess it would fucking lose to Rayleigh probably, but like it's really, really powerful, and I don't think we should be sleeping on this deck. I think this deck is way more powerful than people are giving it credit for right now. But we'll have to wait and see what kind of results it is putting up. But I think this is a clear S tier. Sora is probably like a very low B, high C. Pretty high C. Put it right next to Saka. Law, low C. This is D. Man, I mean, this is gotta be over Boa, right? But like barely. Kaido D, this D, this D, 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 D. Actually, put this Kaido in C. D, 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 band. Put this in high C as well. D, low C, D, 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 low C. BY Loki good though. Like BY Loki good. Let's put it up here with some of these high C ones. D and D. All right, that's it. That's the tier list. I hope all the leaders were on this tier list. I didn't make it myself. I just stole it. So hopefully it had everything that we kind of needed from this. But yeah, I think this is like around what I think the meta is gonna be. It's gonna revolve around these 3 decks and then these 6 decks here to counteract those and kind of try to keep them in check. And then B tier are just gonna be people who are coping, and then C tier are probably not gonna see much play, if any at all. And D tier is gonna be just everything else. I think that's it. I don't think I need to explain too much what my thought process here is, more than I've already explained it. Like if I were to make any difference, I'd probably just like add a row here, do something like this, just to more clearly separate these from these guys, because I think it's very clear that these guys are better than these guys, like by a decent margin. And I could do the same with this C tier here, right, where it's like this should probably be something like this, right? Yeah, for sure. Something like this would be the most accurate depiction of the tier list. So I guess that's gonna be it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to leave a like on the video and subscribe as well if you want to see more content like this. I'll be making OP12 content all throughout the set, so make sure you are subscribed and that notification bell on. Other than that, I will see you in the next one. Peace.